I hope you now have a better sense of the different types of transplants.
I do. Thank you. I'm really surprised to learn how many options there are. The way that kidney pair donation can allow any healthy person to donate is incredible.
It is. Some kidney pair donation programs even allow people interested in donating a kidney the opportunity to donate months or years before their intended recipient gets a transplant. This is helpful when people have trouble with scheduling and in situations when the recipient will need a kidney transplant in the future, but not quite yet. The donor gets a voucher that can be redeemed in the future for their intended recipient to get a kidney transplant themselves at the right time. Research shows that in the future, there should be enough living kidney donors that any recipient who has a voucher will be able to redeem it when they need a kidney. There are a few situations in which donating early and getting a voucher really helps a family. Nancy's story is a great example of this. She donated a kidney for her grandson Victor, who may need a kidney in the future.
Well, I'm Victor's proud grandma. He's 10, and his parents and I were really concerned when he was born with polycystic kidney disease. It's a type of kidney disease that gets worse over time. I don't have it, but it does run in our family. Victor's doing okay now, but in the future, his kidneys will get more damaged, and he'll probably need a kidney transplant. I wanted to help Victor get a living donor kidney transplant right away when he needs one instead of having to wait. I would have been too old to be a living donor later on. So while I was still healthy and eligible to be a living donor, I donated to someone who needed a kidney now through the voucher program. So now I have a voucher, like a credit, that's assigned to Victor so that he can redeem it whenever he needs a kidney transplant. And who knows whether I'll even be around when he needs a transplant, but he'll know how much I loved him when and if he ever does.
Kidney pair donation has really changed how transplants can happen. Different transplant centers have different types of kidney pair donation programs available. So you will want to ask what types of programs they have and whether they have access to the voucher program. What questions do you have that I can answer now?
Less of a question and more of a thought. My family never really talked about transplants. We all knew people who were on dialysis and thought that dialysis was the only choice if your kidneys failed. Whenever I heard about transplants on television, and even still when I mention it to some of my family and friends, they joke about organs being stolen or sold on some black market. With kidney pair donation, how can we really know where the kidneys are going to or where they are coming from?
I know what you're talking about. I've heard these kinds of questions from my own family. I think there is a lot of confusion about what transplant is and whether it is fair to everyone. There are 3 things that are helpful to know. 1, no one in the United States can sell their organs for money. It's illegal. 2, the waiting list and the kidney pair donation matching process are managed by national transplant organizations and coordinated by transplant centers. They do not take race, ethnicity, or financial status of the people needing transplants into account to make sure that people receive kidneys fairly. The speed of the matches is based on how long the person has been waiting on the waiting list, their blood type, and other medical criteria. 3, finally, the transplant center strongly believes that no one should ever be pressured into being a living donor. We offer potential living donors the opportunity to withdraw or stop at any point in the process, up to the point where they are being wheeled into surgery. We work hard to make transplantation as fair as possible so everyone can benefit.
That's really helpful. I have another question. What is the transplant surgery like?
That's a great question. Let me grab some resources and we can go over it in detail.